Hail Swabbies, it's your Cappy. And I'm doing Person Behind the Games today. Alright, so first off, I'd like to thank VG Dad for nominating me for Person Behind the Games. He is the man, has an excellent channel where he plays retro video games, and we all know how much I love those, with his adorable daughter. I would encourage you all to go view his channel. Secondly, I'd also like to mention that I have new headphones. My stupid cat chewed through the cord on my old headphones. My excellent little brother-in-law donated these headphones to my cause. So, thank you for your donation. Alright, so let's get into it. I am to do 10 facts about me for Person Behind the Games. First, I was going to lead with a little background. I was born and raised in a tiny town in northern Idaho called Sandpoint. It is the promised land, as you can see from these beautimous pictures that my father has taken. I have also lived in Las Vegas, in Nevada, for a couple of years. I spent 3 years in Utah, where I met my darling bride. And I have spent 3 years here in the desert, where there is no rain. Fact number... Oh, I have such a hard time with this too. I've actually kind of struggled whether I was ever going to mention this on the channel or not, but it is pretty fundamental for who I am, so this seems as good a time as any if I'm going to say it. I am a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, better known to most as the Mormons. My time spent in Las Vegas was, in fact, as a missionary. That's pretty fundamental, pretty defining. My mission was most excellent. While on said mission, I probably had some of my more crazy experiences, believe it or not. Actually, one of them I'll talk about later on. I also am very appreciative for said mission because it's what helped me decide I was going to Utah to follow all my buddies, and that's where I met my wife. So things turned out really well there. And I actually believe number 10, which I'll talk about at the end, is in large part because of my mission. So it definitely made me a better person. And not like just from a religious level, but from a secular level, like I'm a better person for having done it. Number 3, I am a proud father of a 2 and a almost half-year-old. Her name is Helena. She's adorable and is the apple of my eye. She keeps us all thoroughly entertained. She loves Batman, and I love Batman, and I am so proud that she loves Batman and Batman. I have been married to my darling wife for 4 years in August. We met when she stole my chair in class. She says it wasn't tactical, but I know it was tactical. You see, because immediately afterward, she Facebook friended me. It was planned. She saw her opportunity, and she struck. And then, her reward was this. Yeah. Oh, also, part of my family are my horrific pets. This is the cord eater, Ratchet. Hey, dude. Dude, look at the camera. Do you want to be internet famous like the other cats? Look at the camera! Freaking cats. This is my dumb dog, Lily. Look at the camera. Hey. Good girl. I accidentally rolled over her in the Ocarina of Time stream, so you may have heard her before. But this is her. She hates me right now. Okay, number 4. I have a chronic disease. I've kind of discussed it a little bit on the channel, and I will actually discuss it in further more depth times, because I think my story can actually be really helpful to a lot of people, because I did a lot of things wrong because I'm proud. But I have Crohn's disease. I have been diagnosed for, right about 4 years, because it was shortly after I got married. I've had symptoms for probably 6 years. As such, check this out. Picture time. I have weighed as little as at least 138 pounds, and as much as 240 pounds. At one point, on said mission that I discussed, I was actually relatively fit as well. So I have run the gamut. I have been painfully, deathly skinny, and I have been not straight up fat, but I've been a porky gentleman, and I have been in good shape. That's part of the reason I feel that I'm qualified to discuss weight and body type and health, because I have been there. Anyway, so Crohn's disease, it's becoming a disease that's more well known. So you may or may not have heard of it, but essentially my immune system is slightly overactive and has begun to attack my intestines, which is super cool because along with it comes pain and, well, let's just say me and the turlet are tight. Alright, we're BFFs. Recently, I have finally found some medication that makes me act and be a normal human being. You'll probably notice that my face is much rounder than it was when I started. It's because I finally found meds that help. So I kind of lead a relatively normal life now, except for that once every 2 weeks, I have to take a shot. And it's horrible. I hate it. Needles are my irrational fear. That's a bonus. I could probably show you guys my pens. That might be kind of fun. Okay, so this is one of my pens. So inside there's a needle with the medication. You can see the meds in the little window here. And over here is a little McPressy button that does the whole thing for you. Anyway, I can't do it myself. Literally, I've got my hand on the little button, and I'm telling my thumb to go down, and my thumb's like, no, I'm not gonna go down, you can't make me. And I'm like, please, thumb, please, we got to. And my thumb's like, no, it's gonna hurt. So I just have my wife do it for me. On the Xbox versus PlayStation debate, I am firmly in the camp of PlayStation. I have owned both Xbox I and PlayStations, but I've always enjoyed my PlayStations more. In fact, my PC controller is over there. It's bright red. It's a PS4 controller. Look, we have a PS4 as well. My wife's a PlayStation girl too, so it just works out. But in the end, I like Nintendo better than both. That's the kind of guy I am. Seriously, though, I mean, when it comes right down to it, almost anything you can play on Xbox and PlayStation, you can play on PC. And almost anything you can play on Nintendo, you can't play anywhere else. So, love Nintendo. As you may have noticed, I'm a firm believer in the glorious PC Master Race. Or anything I can play over here, I can just play on my PC with that controller I've got over there. And I have an HDMI cable plugged into this TV right here. I've got every console in this machine. Just saying. That's all I'm saying. Just saying. PC Master Race for life. When I was but a wee lad, learning how to walk upon my own 2 feet, we had a fantastic dog. Her name was Belle. And she helped me learn how to walk. Yes, that's right. You heard it here first. I'm like Mowgli, raised by the beasts. Anyway, she was an adorable hound dog because we've always had hound dogs. And she had big floppy ears, and so I guess when I was little, I used to hold on to her big floppy ears, and she'd get up and walk around really slow for me to learn how to toddle on. These next two are my hidden shame. I am pro hunting, which is not my hidden shame. There are many good benefits to hunting. We can have this debate for days, but I grew up with it. In fact, the reason we had hound dogs is because my father was a hunter. So we trained our dogs to hunt like bear and mountain lion. That's a very fundamental part of my life. I've been on a lot of different hunts as a kid. It's clearly not for everybody. However, here's my hidden shame. Though I have hunted, I have never successfully hunted. So that's one of those things that's kind of awkward for me. Maybe not everybody will relate to that, but that's my hidden shame. I've never had a successful hunt. Number 8. This is another hidden shame. I've never really liked the Battlefront games. There's not much more to be said. I didn't love them. I've seen the trailers for the new one, and I'm like, that's neat. I love Star Wars. I love the Knights of the Old Republic games. I love the Force Unleashed games. But I just don't dig Battlefront. It's not my thing. Number 9. So I thought it was only appropriate to have, like, a good, like, crazy story. I'll talk about a story. The reason I don't drink energy drinks anymore. So, when I was on my mission, this is one of those stories I talked about. So, when I was on my mission, we had a situation where we were in... So, as a missionary, if you're unaware, you always have your partner, your companion. And they team you up, hopefully so you don't do dumb things. And so you don't get in trouble, so there's always somebody to back you up. So the two of us were stationed in, like, the very northern reaches of Nevada, in this town that was, like, population, seriously, it was, like, probably not even 5 grand. It was, like, it was tiny. I bet it wasn't even a grand. So we're in this tiny little town, and we had one of the trucks that is owned by the mission. So geographically, the areas are called missions. There's a little office that, runs all of the workings of the missionaries, and there's different trucks and cars that we have. Sometimes we're not all on bikes. And so we had one of the trucks, and it needed to be relicensed, I think. But it snuck up on him, and so we had to get it to Vegas, like, same day. So we drove all the way to Vegas. It was like a 10-hour, I think it was a 10-hour drive. Maybe not quite that long, but it was a pretty long drive. Down to Vegas. We get there. They give us a new truck. And instead of being smart, we're like, hey, we just drove 10 hours. Let's drive 10 hours back. Especially because I think we had like a meeting or a conference in between. So seriously, by the time we got this truck down to Vegas, picked up the new truck, it was like 3 p.m. We're like, no bigs. Let's do it again. We'll pick up some energy drinks, some soda. We got this. So I had, at least I was prepared. I had a 2-liter of Dr. Pepper, because I'm a Dr. Pepper man, sitting like right here, okay, so I could just and go to town. And then behind the seat, we had a 12-pack of Dr. Pepper, and then we had 2 Red Bulls just in case. So, driving, and I was the one doing all of the driving. So, I had started out tired. So, like, we started back up, and I was, like, pounding on this 2-liter. So, I finished the 2-liter probably, like, an hour into the drive and started in on the, like, canned Dr. Peppers. So, I had a 2-liter down. I was probably, like, 6 Dr. Peppers in. And feeling pretty good. And we're getting close to home. We probably had, like, an hour left on our drive. And we're hitting that point, okay, we were hitting that point. So I was like, alright, it's time to pull out the big guns. We're doing the Red Bull. Now, prior to this, Red Bull was a sipping drink. A gentleman's drink, if you will. So I had never, like, heavily had Red Bull, but I had them occasionally anyway, so I just, like, pounded one of those suckers, and I was like, oh, I feel a little bit better. I should have the second one. So I pounded the next one. Realistically, I'm sure my caffeine levels were off the charts stupid bad. So what happened next, I'm actually going to try and illustrate with this screen right here. So my vision went, I'm going to be straight. I'm not super great at editing yet, so I probably can't do this part, but I'll show you the next part. So my vision went shaky, 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 snap, and did this. And it was terrifying for like 30 seconds. And then it went shaky, 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 snap. And it went back to normal. And I was like, I'm done. I'm never drinking energy drinks again. Never mind the fact that I probably had like 8 Dr. Peppers and a 2-liter to start. I'm never doing energy drinks again. And that's why I will never drink an energy drink again. It was a harrowing experience. And now, for the grand finale, number 10. I hope that I have illustrated this on the channel multiple times, but if I haven't, I wanted to save it for number 10. Like I said, this is something about me that I feel has made me a much better person, and the seeds of this were sown on my mission. I like to think that I am a very open-minded person. I'm very solid in my opinions. I like to hear people out. I like to understand their feelings and their opinions and where they're coming from. I actually, believe it or not, enjoy opposing opinions because I feel like they make me a better person. I think I'm kind of a weird oddity, especially on the internet. Like, let's be honest, I'm really pretty conservative, pretty far on the right. But I'm also the type of person who will talk to and understand and try to be maybe a bridge for those who have opposing opinions, who don't agree with the things that I agree with. I guess I seek to understand. That's something I strive to achieve. It's something that... sorry guys, I try not to bring religion into my channel, because I understand that it doesn't strike with everybody. But again, it's very fundamentally who I am. And, sorry, this is kind of difficult. It's uncomfortable. The reason this started on my mission is because that's where I became more acutely aware of who Christ is and not so much how everybody portrays him. And that's something that I strive to be when I have these discussions and when I look at the other sides. I strive to be as... And again, whether you think he was fictional, whether you think he was a prophet, whether you think he was the Son of God, one thing is to be sure, he was understanding. He was firm in who he was, and he loved everybody around him. And so that's something that I strive to do when I'm being open-minded, when I'm trying to understand other people. I'm trying to be who I am. I'm trying to care and be understanding, and I'm trying to love those around me. So, this is actually really hard for me, especially because I'm gonna throw it out to the world for everybody to see. But that's my number 10. Having said that, it's now time to tag some other poor saps. I challenge, of course, my partner in crime, OP, to do Person Behind the Games. I think he is a very interesting person. On that note, we actually met because we were paired up on our missions together. We were partners in crime there as well. I would also like to tag Adam from Now's the Time For, because he's the man. because he's one of those people who has often made me think, and because I said so. And I would also like to tag Agent Core, because he is the man. He is the man. Love this guy to death. He puts a lot of effort into his channel, a lot of effort into his videos. I just respect the hell out of him, and I think the rest of you should too. So, hopefully you'll go, at least watch his channel, and hopefully he'll accept my challenge. Haha. So, there it is. There we have it. That's my person behind the games. Like it or not, deal with it. No rest for the wicked.